Welcome back. It's time for box number 4. So, we'll load up. This one's pretty hefty. And once again, I could be stylish and use a cool knife, or I could actually use a tool appropriate to the job. So that's what I'll do. So, I'm wearing my Godzilla shirt today rather than my typical anime shirts because I'm getting towards the end of this order, and I know that there are some Godzilla toys remaining to be unboxed, so perhaps this shirt will be appropriate to the contents of this box. So let's see what's in here, shall we, together. Once again, as a reminder, or for new viewers tuning in, this is the 4th out of 6 boxes. All of the merchandise combined cost me about $450 US. The shipping is a separate matter. That was kind of pricey because I underestimated how big this order was and how many boxes it would require to ship, but as I mentioned, that's a different story. So one of the first things that I spotted here is actually not for me. I purchased 2 items for my former coworker and still close friend, Phil. I mentioned that Phil is a big fan of the Tatakai Ramen Man franchise. He's an even bigger traditionalist fan of Saint Seiya. So when I saw this Saint Seiya figure available for 400 yen, I figured, well, that's affordable, and I know that he'll enjoy it, so I'm going to grab this figure as a gift for him. This is a Hozuki no Reitatsu vinyl rubber. I think actually, I don't think vinyl is the appropriate term. Rubber keychain. This was 100 yen, so I purchased this because it was very, very cheap. I also purchased this because it pairs with the Zatsuki Warashi keychains that I already have from the franchise. I think the Zatsuki Warashi from Hozuki no Reitatsu are among the greatest anime characters ever invented. So that's why I have the keychain of them. I also have a set of Hozuki no Reitatsu Zatsuki Warashi figure girls. But I figured that since this was available in the same series for 100 yen, and my goal was to buy as many items as I could to average out the per item shipping cost, well, I'll pick up this too. These are particularly neat because they are dangly. These can be very large and bulky keychains, but they also come with stands. So these are actually designed to be stood up as displays. So I mentioned that I had purchased 3 of the Nanoha Gashapon figures, so here is the 3rd one. I believe these have been opened. I'll have to check. I can't tell if... Yes, these have been opened. Alright. I thought they had been. I've mentioned previously that I really, really enjoy buying and collecting unusual, novel, and unique anime items. So this qualifies. Some of you may be aware that the Keionbu, the Keion Light Music Club, performs a song titled My Love is a Stapler. This is the official Keion My Love is a Stapler stapler. This is just the neatest thing. The fact that there actually is a stapler with the replica cassette based on the song that the girls sang in the TV show definitely made this worth the whole $2 that I paid for this before shipping. So apparently, oh Lord, you cannot be serious. I'm guessing that these are the staples inside it. By the look of this, the back of the staples have a image on them of the girls. If that's true, that's just another level, another degree of neatness. However, I'm not actually going to open this to find out. This is just a display piece that I think is tremendously novel and unique. I did not buy a lot of books, but I did buy, as I think I mentioned, a handful of magazines that included first appearances. I previously pulled out the first appearance of the Shoulder of Coffin Kuro manga. I've pulled out the first appearance of Hayao Miyazaki's Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind manga. I've pulled out the magazine that contains the first appearance of Rei Omishi's Risky Safety. This magazine includes the first appearance of the Hakume to Mikochi manga series. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I don't recall its original title. It had a different name for the first 3 months it was published, and then it changed, in the 4th month, it changed its name to Hakume to Mikochi. But I'm sure that many of you will remember that the show Hakume to Mikochi, Tiny Little Life in the Forest, got an adorable, very sweet fantasy slice of life television series last year, and the manga series is currently being released domestically. So when I could get the first published appearance of Hakume to Mikochi for 300 yen, I was eager to jump on this purchase. This is an item that I plan to take to the Necronomicon convention in 2 weeks, and hopefully resell, even more hopefully, for a profit, considering that it was 500 yen is what I paid for it. Well, 500 yen plus shipping. But as you can see, this is a Yotsuba giant down board, but this is the red version. You may be able to tell that I have the classic gray version without stickers over here, which I bought at an Anime Expo convention a number of years ago. I believe I paid 40 for him. So I'm hoping to at least put 20, maybe 25 on this. And of course, I'm always open to offers too. So we'll see how this goes. And because this takes up a lot of space, I'm going to shift it perhaps over here, and it may or may not stay within camera, but that's kind of irrelevant. Oh Lord, I guess I had forgotten exactly how big this particular Moara penguin drum figure is, because as you can see, this is a sizable box, which contributes to why this order was delivered to me in so many boxes. But this Moara penguin drum figure of the princess is the matching pair to this figure, which makes me now hesitate to sell this. My intention was, because I already have a separate other figure of the princess, my intention was to put this one up for sale. Partially because this was a whole $2. So even if I put a figure this size from an excellent and moderately popular show, even if I was to put it up for, say, $12, at that price, had my shipping originally come out to what I anticipated it would be, I might even have made a tiny amount of profit on that. But however, now knowing that it pairs with the figure I already have, I will either debate with myself to keep it or to put it up for sale, and if it doesn't sell this at this convention 2 weeks from now, I will simply transfer it into my permanent collection. This is another sizable figure that I purchased with the intention of taking to the small Tampa Dark Fantasy Necronomicon convention in 2 weeks to see if I can resell. This is a, let's see, I'm going to have to take a close look at this one myself. Was this Sangokushi Taisen? Does that sound right? Sangokushi Taisen. I believe it's a PC game. However, this is a UFO catcher figure, but it's also a very, very attractive figure. And it's a sizable figure. And, moreover, it was 400 yen. So a figure this attractive and this size, I figured I should easily be able to mark at $12, $15, if not more, and be able to sell. So that's my intention for this. This is a nice enough figure that if it doesn't sell, I may actually just keep this one for myself. Another large figure that I purchased with the intention of taking to the Nocturnal McCallum convention to resell is from Excel World. This is, who was this? Chiaki, right? Chiaki. I apologize, folks. I did watch all of Excel World. I watched all of Excel World. I watched the OVA. I watched the motion picture. So I am very, very familiar with Excel World. However, I'm sure as you are aware, it's been a number of years, and with the turnover of anime, it's hard to remember the names of every character once a couple years pass by. However, this adorable figure of Chiaki, actually I guess I could have cheated because it's written in large English print on the back. This adorable figure of Chiaki was 600 yen. So my intention was that had I paid only $2 or $3 in shipping for it, I could easily double the price and still make a small amount of profit. At what I did pay for this figure, including postage, I will probably end up breaking even on it. However, that's fine too, because part of this getting this here was getting items here for my permanent collection. I mentioned that I am an enthusiastic fan of unusual anime items, despite the fact that I'm not a devoted follower of the Touhou franchise. I mentioned in yesterday's video that I had purchased the Mandarake produced Reimu and Marissa Touhou figure set. I discovered that Mandarake also produces not one, but actually two different exclusive Touhou umbrellas. So I thought to myself, these are really, really super interesting. These are tremendous. There I go, using tremendous again. I guess Trump is wearing off on me. These are really interesting. Hopefully this will open and fit on camera, because these Touhou umbrellas, I guess, actually nice. They're actually smaller than I anticipated. However, the fact that they are smaller than I anticipated means that they are slightly easier to display. So, there we go. Hopefully this will completely fit in camera. I'm turning it, orienting this properly. These are 1,000 yen a piece. So, in other words, these umbrellas are actually, because I'm recording, let me deal with folding these back up at a more opportune time. Let's open up the other one so that you can get a look at these. Because these are produced by Mandarake, they were able to produce them at their affordable prices. And to me, considering that a small umbrella, even here in America, is at least, what, $4 or $5, the fact that these are $10 a piece makes them very, very unique collectibles, very attractive collectibles, both in terms of price and design. And hopefully this is completely in camera. I had considered purchasing multiples of these to attempt to resell. However, considering how much I was spending on this entire order, and considering that I simply don't know how well known or how popular the Touhou franchise is in my local area, I hesitated and decided that I would prefer buying less expensive $2 items to potentially resell for small profit than investing in $10 items, which I may or may not be able to resell. I have to say, for one thing, that I am also not a very, very extensive or knowledgeable fan of Kankare or Kantai Collection. However, I am aware that Shimakaze is always associated with her little gunship cat. This figure has a variety of iterations, and this plush version was 150 yen. So this plush Shimakaze mascot was under $1.50. Now, when I get a close look at it, I do realize there is you may or may not be able to see this, there is a tiny little bit of staining on the right side gun. However, once again, at $1.50, I'm not going to complain too much about very minor staining. I purchased this, complete with little rotors, little propellers, that is, just because I know what Kankare is. I see the Sagamasu? Am I translating that, reiterating that correctly? I see this figure all the time, and I did not have one, so I decided to get the price. I would pick one up. The second thing I wanted to say is that this is a lot bigger than I anticipated it being. I expected this to be half the size that it is, especially for $1.50. And the final item in this box, I believe, I'm going to guess at what this is. I believe, yes. Once again, I mentioned that I really, really like and appreciate unique, unusual anime items. Fans that have been around for a moderate amount of time may remember the manga series Midori no Hibi. It got an anime television series back in the day. Midori no Hibi was about a high school delinquent who one day discovered that his classmate Midori had magically transformed into his right hand. So he no longer had fingers, he had a human girl on the end of his wrist. Well, this is an actual life-sized 1/1 scale Midori. It comes with a large display stand, comes with optional clothing, it comes with a audio CD, and there, if you can see the image, you can see the image of, again, I apologize for forgetting his name, but he with the Midori figure on his wrist. I was not a big fan of this series. I never finished watching it. In fact, I think I only watched the first episode because it was a little bit hysterical, a little bit hyperbolic for my tastes. However, I just really love replica items. I love prop items. The fact that I could get a life-sized Midori for $8 made this a item that I was extremely happy to purchase. So that's what's in this box. There are, I believe, 2 boxes to go. So feel free to tune back in tomorrow as we open up the 5th out of 6 boxes.